Welcome to The Secret Life of Therapist. I'm your host, Dr. Habiba Zaman. I have Kaylin Maloney here with me. We are going to do it all. We talk about all things life has to offer. It is unscripted, unedited. You get what you get from us.
Yeah.
So today's topic, and I'm going to put a disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
Family, parents of mine, don't listen to this one. Don't listen to this one. Save yourself the embarrassment. Just next.
Yeah. Not for kids.
It's never for kids. Never for kids.
Just in
not
case
for
you might have
teenagers.
thought your teen was mature enough. This is
Not today.
Not one of those.
Not
today.
today's.
No.
Not today's. Yeah. So we are going to talk about sex. All things related to sex, intimacy, romantic, love, relationships. You name it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. One of the hot topics that I don't know if it's represented enough in the way it needs to be. I feel like it is complained about. Yes, it is complained about in a very toxic way. Sexless marriages, right?
Very
sexless,
problematic.
Romantic, committed relationships. And growing up, and this is anyone in my age range, mid 40s and up, will tell you, and even younger, depending on the culture that you're from, that a woman's job is to make sure that the husband is happy and satisfied in that realm, because if you're not putting out, he's going to go find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That is the message I've heard all the time.
Yeah.
And so when a relationship gets to the point where it's sexless, I think so much has gotten it there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, everybody should know this, right? Sexual desire and activity is on a spectrum.
Yes.
And all of it is typically normal. People, people that I know, they want it multiple times a week. Yeah. And some are okay with once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that giggle?
I know. It's just so funny to think about it, but we'll get into it.
Okay. So, I see that. I see you squared away from that. Remember, we got to talk about it with our experiences too.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm not going to jump right now. We'll get into it.
But the point of today's topic, I want to first normalize the different relationships that are out there. Make sure everyone understands that there is not the same frequency or depth of desire that's experienced by everyone, nor is it wanted by everyone. And, what to do and why it's there, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And if we can have any type of resolution, because sex is very physical, so it's very different from like communication or like house chores or different things like that, because all things require both people, but sex really requires both people. And so, or if you have a polyamorous relationship, then it still involves all individuals still have to be a part of it and still be willing, wanting, consenting, like all of the layers. So it's a much different like practice, I think, when you're looking at like kind of resolving that area and even looking through what are some of those issues that have gotten us to this point. It's not like you kind of immediately meet the person and it's like, oh, I'm not having sex anymore. Like you kind of usually a part of that. Yeah. Or is like kind of mulling over, chipping away, and you don't really notice it until I think both parties don't really notice it until it's reached a certain point.
Well, I've heard in a lot of the couples that I've worked with that when you have the life together, when you have the house together, when you have the shared living responsibilities of pets and children or whatever, that over time the importance of sex diminishes. Not that you don't want to have sex, but the urgency or the need to isn't there as much anymore, because it's not the forefront of it. Now, research shows, and no, I can't think of the titles or the authors off the top of my head, because names and I are not friends. But research shows that about 18 months. It's attachment theory, if you guys want to look it up. It's someone somewhere, maybe Bandura. I don't remember. It's been a minute.
You've done a lot of reading though, so it's understandable.
But Bandura, from a biological standpoint, attraction, that really deep sexual drive that's there, it lasts about 18 months. Because that's when evolutionary needs to procreate and all of that typically will happen around that time, and then afterwards that significance isn't there anymore in the brain. You've also got, from a neurological standpoint, the sorry,
That's
I know
okay.
We're just going right.
It's okay.
I'm
We're
geeking.
going. We're
I'm
in
geeking.
it. We're in it.
We talked about me not being such a geek.
No, I
it
think
is what
it's
it is.
necessary. Though.
Whatever. It is what it is. I'm not pulling this shit out of my ass, basically.
Yeah, that's why it's necessary. Yes.
But from a neurological standpoint, right, your brain pays attention to and puts energy and effort into what's salient, what's new, what's different, what's exciting. So in long-term committed relationships, a lot of that exciting newness is not there, right? And so there you go. You don't really have that burning desire, right? To jump to the phones.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say a lot of the analogies that we're just like we're jumping like rabbits or we're like fucking like rabbits, and it's like in the beginning, I know here we are, number 2, but it's like and even with that, so before I go there, but like so in the beginning, yeah, so as women we have that understanding of like you have to keep your man satisfied, and then it becomes a total shock, and I think that's a part of the difficulty that we have within relationships when it's like, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm having as much sex as he wants, but it's still something else going on. Like it's still they're still not satisfied, like the woman or the man or both, or whatever it is.
And
So
life
it's definitely
satisfaction, not even sexual satisfaction.
Overall satisfaction, like within the relationship, and sometimes even within themselves. And so you even how is sex used? Sometimes people use sex as a coping mechanism, so that's not helpful either. So you kind of run into a lot of where did this come from? Why is this here? What do we do? But because sex is so physical, it's not like, oh, since we resolved this conflict or this argument or whatever, we rebuilt this trust and we're back to being rabbits. And it just doesn't work in that way. And a lot of times as well, we have this kind of lesson of lust versus love. And so growing up, of course, parents or like or caregivers or just elders are like, you're not in love. This is just lust. Like you'll get past this.
As if it's supposed to be something that's temporary.
Yes. And I think that's a part of that kind of expectations dash maybe possible standard of like at some point this sex is going to go down. And so we have a lot of discussions out there where men are like, it doesn't really go down for us until like, I don't know, 40s, 50s or something crazy. And then women's is like spiking up in their 30s or so. And it's like, well, why is that though? Like if that is the case, what's going on in women's lives at before then that would be such an issue. So like for me, I think we as women we don't really get the grace to deal with our own self as we're growing up. We have to be the girl, be the young lady, be the woman. And so if your parents are anything like my mom was very much okay, like you're 9, but I need you to be like 19. So I need you to sit down, you just shut up one day, be quiet. I need you to be able to function this way, very strict, very orderly. So we weren't like we could go outside and play, but like
you didn't get to be you.
Couldn't come out. No, like you can't come back in here looking like you've been rumbling, fumbling.
But you also don't know what that means, right? Like what does it mean to be you then when you leave the house and you're an adult?
You're having to be so and then of course you have the kind of it's a joke but it's real serious of the church kids who are super even more restricted, and then when they go out they're buck fucking wild. And it's because we don't know nothing going on, we don't know nothing about nothing else. I want to see everything, I want to try everything, I want to be everywhere. And so
well, that kind of restriction of any kind of restriction, right, it leads you to rebel. The rebelliousness is 100% a response to that feeling of being controlled.
Yes.
that I can't be or do or whatever, right? So when you feel out of control and just like I have no say over the course of my existence, over the course of my life, defiance is the easiest way to regain that control in a subconscious kind of level.
Yeah, mine was more, I'm gonna take that a little bit over. So for the lack of control for me was coming from childhood sexual trauma. So I was not in the depression statistic, I was in the hypersexual statistic. So but then my understanding was I don't have no control over this area of my life. Like my body is here for men only, and then like that's it. Whatever they need to do to make themselves satisfied, and I'm going about my day.
Now, also, I want to ask you this. You don't have to answer.
Okay.
Okay. Just because we're going to get into it
Yes.
today. In late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, I don't know of a single person in my friend group, family, or any of my clients in the last 15 years that I've been doing therapy or being a psychotherapist, right? I don't know a single woman who knew what pleasure was.
Yeah.
Or the purpose of pleasure or the purpose of a shared experience.
Yes.
In your sexual encounters.
Yeah. Because I definitely was someone that was like, y'all are overhyping it. Sex is really just whatever the fuck. I probably have more fun eating a Twix. This is really not like this ain't what y'all taking this out to be. Like this is wet. Like I don't know. So, but again, my experience has never been. It's either been very dramatic or it's just been blah because I'm not present. Like I'm completely dissociated.
Was that your first experience with sex?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah. I think I was 7.
See, talk about fucking a woman up at that point when their first experience is sexual trauma.
Yeah.
Right? With sexuality in general. You're exposed to something your brain doesn't have the chemicals or your body doesn't have the chemicals to process or react to. Right? And then on top of that, like fucking hell, then you're like, but this is expected. Right? Society, the over sexualization of everything, men and women. Right? Just this is what you're supposed to want. This is supposed to be something that you strive for.
Yeah.
And then, but not having the association with a healthy understanding of that.
Yeah. I think a big part of that is like for me I had to learn definitely the hard way because there was such a distance in like reality of life. So I think my life was you do this, you do this, you do this, right? Not from any. It's not like my parents were saying that. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely societal. My dad was very much like, "It's just sex. Fuck it. It's men out here. Who cares?" My mom didn't even discuss sex, so it's not like it was a thing in my mind that was like, "Oh, like you have to do this, you have to do that." It was never that. I think just like you said, societal expectations were. Yeah. But so bringing it over into relationships, I think a part of it came more problematic for me because once the Pandora's box of my PTSD did open, it was like, okay, cool, like we're out here hypersexual, like in the relationship, and then all of a sudden it's just like it's dead.
Right.
And so then it becomes, oh my God, like what happened? What's going on? Why is it this? Why is it that? And so I think in those times of like that's kind of one of the it's a significant thing, but I think that's part of one of those reasons of what happens. Like, why do we run into sexless relationships and sexless marriages? Because again, it's not like you just wake up and it's like, oh fuck this. It's just things happen, things come up, things are uncomfortable, so then you end up just kind of like, this is where I am now. So,
or I've seen, I kind of want to talk about from again when even for a normal person, there's so many people, and I've heard this in my culture mostly, that, because this trauma happened to you, yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's why you are the way you are.
yeah.
Everyone else is not like that.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that this is not the message that we're giving right now.
Right. No.
Because again, what I had mentioned earlier about not knowing what pleasure is, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what a shared experience is.
Yeah.
Right? Is something that has been universal.
Yeah.
Trauma, no trauma, it doesn't matter. That has been the experience that I've seen from women period, across the board. And also in research, that's what research shows. And it was because of the taboo of being sexual, right? All religions prohibit it, right? Not all religions. But let's say the
most practiced
most
ones that we
common
know
ones
of.
are, right?
Oh my god.
I grew up, like everything is either sexualized to get attention, right? So if you're behaving a certain way, even mine was, if I stand up straight, then I'm trying to get attention because now I have breasts. Just standing up straight. So I would walk hunched over from the first time I heard that message, which was, I think I was 13 or 14.
Wow.
All the way until I don't know when. Even now, I have to consciously be like, stand up straight, bitch.
Yeah.
Stand up straight.
How crazy is that?
Like yesterday, we went out. I took big moments happened yesterday. We found out, my little man is going to, he got accepted to the colleges, 2 of the 3 that he applied to.
It was a big deal.
Oh, it's such a big deal.
It was such a stressful freaking process.
And we are in the middle of a Broadway concert.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my phone like, that 59 to 00, I was going to have, like, I felt like I was going to give myself an aneurysm because I was holding my breath.
Yeah.
Right? Anyways, big deal, big moment, right? Yesterday, I'm out with my kids, and I make it a point to dress nicely. It makes me feel good. I love it. I'm just a princess when it comes to things like that, just as much as I'm a demon when it comes to everything else. But whatever, it is what it is. I look the part. Whether or not I acted is a different story.
That's hilarious.
It's true. Watch me take a sledgehammer to some walls, okay? And then you'll see the demon that I can be.
It's not that bad, but okay.
Whatever. So, I was wearing this red dress, right? It's a very pretty dress. It's very classy. It's beautiful. It made me feel beautiful. But when I went to the bathroom, I found myself, because I had to walk through the restaurant to be able to get there, to start to cave in on myself. Again, because subconsciously, right, that's part of my blueprint, that you don't take up too much space and you don't draw too much attention.
So like you're covering yourself as you're going through all of these people.
Right. So yeah, I'm, walking past, and I had to consciously be like, no, draw your shoulders back. It's okay. It's okay to stand up straight. It's okay to wear, again, red, right? Red is a very sexualized color. And it's pretty too. It's like a cherry red kind of. It's a beautiful dress. And it's a high neck dress. So it's not even like, it wasn't anything that was sultry or over sexualized. That was my babies.
Yeah.
Which, that's another hilarious thing. I tried to get into this other dress before, and it was a new one. I've never worn it before. And I eventually strapped myself into it, and I was just like, ooh, yeah, this dress is not family outing appropriate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It looks almost like a ball gown kind of thing. So, with like tulle. It's a very princess dress.
Very cute.
And it has like a cross back.
Okay.
But what you don't see on the hanger is that the neckline goes almost down to your navel.
Oh, it's one of those.
It's one of those,
okay,
right?
girl.
Which, it looks, again, very.
It is very nice, but probably not for the kids.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not. But it looks like something you would wear maybe to a spring wedding or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Again, on the hanger.
An event. Yeah.
Because it's got the tulle and it kind of puffs out, and it looks very princessy and safe. Girl, it was not.
It sounds very pretty, but yeah.
So it just needs someplace else to wear. But again, just what I just told you about that dress, obviously, in my opinion, that is not a child appropriate outfit. Not without a bunch of tapes everywhere, maybe. And it's just not worth the energy or effort.
Yeah.
But to be able to don something like that, took me late 30s before I would be comfortable enough to wear something like that and walk without constantly being petrified of what other people might think.
Yes.
Not to mention the safety aspect of it.
Yeah.
We're not talking just about physical safety. We're also talking about emotional safety, right? So we'll get to all of that also. Because all of this combined goes into whether or not in these long-term relationships, if it's sexless or not.
Yeah.
Right? Or just how long the in-between times are.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, they've had so many, I'm not gonna say unnecessary, but I think the conversation topics can be problematic because they're about how are you dressing for your relationship to not have sex, as if like how you look is such a determining factor to your sex life, and
Which
it's like
I'm going to immediately challenge that with, if you look at all the beautiful, stunning women who have been
come on
cheated
now,
on,
come on.
it has
It doesn't
absolutely
matter.
nothing
It's
to
nothing
do
to do with
with
that.
what
So I'm
you
like,
look like.
God, that's not a good discussion to have with folks. But it's like, but
But
then
it's
of
always
course,
like that, though, isn't it? It's
but
always
yes,
somehow the woman's fault.
yeah, because again, our lesson is you're supposed to do. So yeah, it's our fault. Because why is it sexless? If it's sexless and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So whether it's not wearing enough lingerie, whether it's not doing enough foreplay, whatever it is that you're just not doing, it's totally your fault. Because he has no interest of his own whatsoever in his life except you.
And so hormones play a role.
Super.
If a man's testosterone is too low, he's not going to have the drive. Um,
If both people are stressed or one or the other stressed, there's no drive.
high cortisol, life events, right? Like chaos, life
Yes.
events. Because again, that's not at the forefront of your mind
No.
of this relationship dynamic. That doesn't mean there's no desire, but sometimes there is no desire. So if there's hormonal concerns, right, a woman whose estrogen is getting lower and lower and lower, studies show that it's during menopause women's sex drive goes down, and that is not true.
No.
That is not true. And the reason I say that's not true is because another woman, Esther Perel,
Yeah,
her?
love her. Love her. Fucking relationship expert. So, she is just fantastic.
I forgot to bring the book here with me because I mean it's Mating in Captivity. It's in here. But in it, she talks about how women's desire doesn't go down.
Yeah.
Right? But women do change.
Yes.
And so with that change, it's not worth the effort. And now more and more studies are showing this, which I'm like, yes. Thank you. Stop. Because that was always the reason why people justified men going after younger women.
Yes.
Nonsense, bullshit.
Super.
It has nothing to do with because now women are not interested. Women are still interested.
Yeah.
Because they'll still be getting it on with other people. Yeah. Women who are single in that age range going through menopause are having sex. Yeah. They are dating. They are living life to their fullest. Yes. Right? The difference is their bodies are different. Yeah. It takes different things to get it to react.
Yes. I was gonna say your needs are just different. They're just your interests are different.
But in a long-term committed relationship, right? And this is what Esther talks about. If one partner just gets into that monotony of like, this is the same moves that I'm gonna do every time, desire is gonna go to shit on both sides. Because it's not fun. Again, saliency, right? Your brain responds to things that are new and exciting and different. Yeah. It's different. Right. So couples who are not experimenting anymore, who are not
having fun,
trying to do things differently, right? You're not going to get that reaction. And then, okay, right? If someone would you do 1, 2, 3, and then she is raring to go. Yeah. But then the next time you do 1, 2, 3, and it's just not going anywhere, it does impact the man's self-esteem, right? Like, what is it about me that you don't find desirable because you're not now physically responding like you used to? Yeah. And then again, women always needing to be the caregiver is like, no, it's not you. So then either faking it or just going through it or just, let's just get a different kind of lube and keep it moving. Yeah. Without stopping and being like, my body has changed and it is changing just like you are changing. Yeah. Let's explore what this new change looks like. People don't put in that effort anymore.
Yeah. No, I don't have no children. So that was my part too of experience. So like by the time I had her, I worked through like a really big portion of my PTSD, so I felt comfortable and almost like safe enough to have her. I just did not want to have children. Well, before I recognized I had all this shit going on, right? Like it was like I don't want any kids until could like literally financially afford them. And then once all that came up, I was like, now I need to work through this shit, whatever. So by the time I had her, I did experience a lot of postpartum, and so I'd already had a like diminished sex drive once I was dealing with the PTSD. So then once I kind of worked through that, and it was like, okay, I'm kind of like coming along. She was created and very much planned and everything, so it's not like it wasn't a whole thing. But after she was born, it was like I don't even want to see skin. It was just, and it was devastating. I was just like crying on top of that because I loved my partner and I loved our sex life, but I couldn't get it. I don't know what was going on. So I was like going to my doctor, like, oh my God. And she was like, girl, you sound like you depressed. And it sounds like you're in postpartum. Do you know what that is? And I'm like, yes and no, I guess. Because again, not discussed, right? So we're taught postpartum is just you're sitting there crying because your hormones up and down from the baby. It's not the baby blues. But it is not that at all. And it's so, there's so much, there is a lot of research and commentary about it that you can healthily read. But again, it's not on the mic like the other topics are about that. And so when you're going through it, it's like, what is wrong with me? Like, how did this even happen? How do I work through this? Is this ever going to come back? I mean, you just have so many questions of where am I? Because, excuse me, because it's not like I didn't enjoy sex. It was just, or even gotten to a point where I could. Because again, learning, right? So sex can be enjoyable, and you can have a partner who actually like asks you things, and like you can answer those questions truthfully, even if you're in a moment. So learning even about your body and what it is that you like and what hurts, what doesn't hurt, your body, and being totally present is such a different experience, of course. And so when that happened, I was going through postpartum. It was just like, oh my God, I finally reached a point where I felt like I was getting comfortable, and I felt finally like, oh, okay, I can kind of like see the sun. It was like right back down. And so then again, you're in your mind of what am I doing wrong? What's going on? And then just on top of all the things of being a new mom and trying not to be this way, trying to do that, do this. It was just so many just da, 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 da. So it just became definitely bottom of my totem pole because I have like all these other things. But again, then to my partner is the question of what am I doing wrong? How can I help you? Can I help you? And of course, then he's like, oh my God, I've caused this. Right. So then it becomes this whole other conversation of, oh my God, no. And then how do I show him that he's not? So it's just this constant, which doesn't get you working to the resolution at all. You're just constantly just patching, patching, patching.
Which I love that you brought the part about your partner up too, because that's the part where people don't realize the anxiety that goes both ways.
Yeah.
Right. In that relationship really dampens your ability to experience desire.
Yeah.
Because then you're kind of afraid because each new disappointing event, right?
Yeah.
If he made the effort and then it got rejected, or I've done that before because I think it's very, very important. Women, men love to feel desirable too. So initiating, I'm okay with that as long as it's mutual. Everything with me and everything I say and everything we discuss is always going to be, is it reciprocal? That when it's not, that's when it's a problem. Period. Everywhere in all aspects of lives. But again, initiating and showing that desire needs to be mutual, and it needs to be.
I feel like your light's not on.
It's not. It's not been on. Fabulous. My hair was covering it.
Your hair is covering it.
Oh, great.
But hopefully I caught you.
It's okay. Maybe you did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But sorry.
But hello, we're back. Again.
Technology.
Unedit. And technology and I are not friends. Yes. It just stopped at some point. Is it still stopping?
Well, yeah, it's red now. It's
blinking. So it's dead.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Thanks. Okay, we're going to hold it. We're going to hold
it
here.
I'll just come close to you.
Okay.
Yay.
We're back to your space. But yeah, I think, and so to that point of like including a partner, right? So I think a part of that is also, it's not selfish. you can be selfish in it. And I think a lot of times we think about it of like, oh, they're selfish. How could they say this? Because they know that you're going through this. They have wants too. They have needs too. Like you guys have made it together based on these common interests in this particular area,
Right.
of course. But one of these are one. This area is one of your common interests.
Right.
So both of you will have things to say. Both of you are going to be
And
like, and it's safe
that's where the
to
emotional
go.
safety comes in. But
Yes.
I feel so many relationships lack that emotional
Yeah.
safety. They're
Which
either
I
afraid of
think,
their own
yes.
judgment and
Mm-hmm.
shame around it, or they're afraid of the other person's response.
Yeah, I think because we as women, we do. I'm not saying that men don't need the connection, but I think as women, we definitely crave more of that like emotional connection when it comes to sex. So when the safety is not there for whatever the reason is, that is a really big reason, whether we know it or not. That kind of starts that kind of decreasing or like diminishing of that sex. It's just kind of, again, we want to, but then it's like I'm just not feeling it.
Well, then, and then also understanding what emotional safety is,
Yeah.
because I don't think it's not the feeling of being safe. It is. That's a big part of it,
Mhm. Mhm.
physical safety. But almost every man that I know or that I've worked with
Mhm.
require emotional safety
Mhm.
to have an enjoyable sexual
Yes.
encounter,
Mhm.
right? Um, there are just as much men and women who are
Mhm.
perfectly content
Yeah.
with like one of the one night stand kind of things where it's
Mhm.
just excitement and it's in the moment and it's
Mhm.
spontaneous.
It's never
But
been me.
no, I wish I was though.
Sometimes I used to, but
No, but that I would argue is I am feeling out of control in some part of my life and I'm unfulfilled in some part of my life. So I'm going to go get that feeling
mhm.
through this encounter.
Yeah.
It's not as much as intimacy or vulnerability. I don't think it has
No.
anything to do with intimacy and
No.
vulnerability. However, I have, I do believe in, and I've also experienced where I can have that intense connection
Mhm.
and that intimacy and that vulnerability and just like this deep emotional connection with
Mhm.
somebody after a few hours with them,
Mm.
right? And by few I mean like 6 or 7.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because I've had one of those, and then that would be just as fine.
Yeah.
Because it to me, then it's all of these levels where you feel seen, heard, respected,
Mhm.
valued, and understood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what emotional safety is.
Mhm.
If I can repeat that, being seen,
Mhm.
heard,
Valued.
valued,
Mhm.
understood,
And respected.
and respected. Thank
Mhm.
you. Because I'd be like,
Yeah.
and then I can't repeat anything. Um, so again, if that's lacking, and Esther does a beautiful job when she talks about eroticism,
Yeah.
right? And people just like cringe from that word because they're like, oh my God. But that's what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Or then the other side and think it's like full BDSM world, and it's like nope.
No,
It's just nothing.
no.
Yeah.
Eroticism is just the sexual desire and connection and intimacy you feel with someone,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I love the way she describes it. She says, you have this partner, and that partner is supposed to be your best friend, housekeeper,
Yeah.
um, emotional dumping ground,
Mhm.
right? The thing that you lash out on,
Mhm.
blah, 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 right? And then you're surprised that you're not sexually attracted or desired
Yeah.
as much if
Mhm.
that's your focus,
Right.
right? Because again, if, and one of my closest friends, he asked me this, he was like, you give so much of yourself all day long.
Mhm.
Is there anything left for your husband when you get home?
Mm.
And I was like,
Wow.
yes, there is. Why? Because I make it a point
Yeah.
to also then make sure that I show up for him just like I showed up for my children, just
Mhm.
like I show up for my clients,
Yeah.
right? It's the same across the board, but it is intentional.
Yes.
However, there's so many relationships where at the end of the workday, everybody's exhausted. You're mentally depleted, you're physically
Yes.
depleted,
Still gotta
right?
find what to eat.
Right. And you
My God.
come home and you bitch about everything
Yeah.
because you do. They're your best friend that you're supposed to be able to bitch and vent to,
Mhm.
right? And then maybe you grumble at them for something else that's happened that they forgot to put the meat in the fridge,
Mhm.
um, and it just sat out in the sink all night
All
long,
day. So now it's done.
right? So and then somebody else says something else, and then the kids need this done or blah 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 blah, and then you go to bed and what? You're just supposed to be like, oh hey,
Yeah. Nice and sweaty.
Okay.
Love it.
Right? When
Mhm.
literally the only 3 hours you guys had together was a bitch fest.
Yes. Yeah.
So she's like, how is that? These are all my words. I'm like,
It's
logical,
okay.
practical,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense that that
No.
person that you have all that. So, which is why I make it a conscious choice
Yeah.
to, yes, I still bitch about whatever and do whatever, but make time for playfulness.
That was gonna be my question for you. I was like, so those things are not gonna change, right? We're all gonna have the stressors. We're always gonna have things going on. So with the conscious effort, what does that look like? To have a conscious effort, what do we do with that? How do we kind of, aside from like, okay, today I'm doing, like not
Right,
that way, obviously.
right. So, there's, again, not going to be able to tell you who did this or where I
It's
saw it or
okay.
where I read it, but there's 4 pillars of romantic relationships
Okay.
to make a very healthy, successful relationship last,
Okay.
right? And these 4 pillars, you need 3 of them
Okay.
to have a great relationship.
Okay.
You can have 2 of them and it'd be all right,
Yeah.
but you need 3 of them minimum, and you can bounce around between
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
But if I can remember them, one is playfulness, right?
I can see
One
that.
is something where you spend time together,
Mm-hmm.
like where you watch your shows together or
Okay.
whatever. But playfulness is different, right?
Yes.
Playfulness is spontaneous. I don't know what I was about to say. But being spontaneous, things like that,
Yes.
playful,
Yeah.
right? I was doing this thing, which my kids probably thought I was drunk. I had one drink. Thank you very much. I was not, but I was like, we were excited. We were celebrating, like I
Yeah.
said. But I'm always singing. You
Mhm.
heard me singing with your daughter
Mhm.
earlier today. I sing all day, all night. That's how I regulate my nervous system.
Mhm.
And because, again, studies show that humming actually does.
Oh.
Yes, it triggers different parts of your brain, brings down the cortisol level and everything. So hum
That's
away,
nice.
guys. But I was doing that, and then, homie over here just does not, is just stoic and
Mm.
just kind of one dimensional in that way. He's the stability and rock of the family, right?
Right.
So I'm over here like, what kind of white man songs do I need to play now for you to
Oh
sing a
my
little bit?
god.
and
Wow.
and he was like, I will do karaoke. I will do all the white man songs. Okay. I was like,
Okay.
oh, Coldplay. Let's go.
Wow.
So I did. And
All
we're in the car,
right.
right? We're in the car. So, and then I throw my hand out like, let's
Yeah.
go, bitch.
Yeah.
Sing away, right?
Yeah. But I think
And
that's a part of the friendship piece of it.
right.
Yeah.
And of course, his response to that, he was like trying to bite my hand. He was like, stop it, because he's not going to. And I know he's
Yeah.
not going to. I
Yeah.
called him on his bluff. But it was a fun moment, right? That playfulness that needs to be there, needs to be there daily.
Yeah, it does.
Like moments of playfulness just need to be there daily, just like with your kids, it needs to be there daily.
Yeah.
Even when they're complete like nightmares or whatever, you still have to be. It's very hard for me to show up for my teenage boys with their
Mhm.
teenage attitudes and try to be playful with them.
Mhm.
So playfulness, right? And then just time, doing something together, watching shows together, going on walks together. The third one is there growth together? Are you guys learning something new together,
Mhm.
right? And um because that's the growth part. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you guys are learning how to do pottery. I
Yeah.
don't. I won't. But
Mhm.
I don't know why that is
No,
there.
it's okay. It's because it's not. It's like thrilling. I guess some people don't see it as like
It's
extra
just
exciting, but it
something.
is something.
But that's different though, because people are like, yeah, we watch shows together. That's not the same thing as are we growing and learning something new
No.
together,
Yeah.
right? It's learning a language together, doing a cooking class together,
Right.
um, dance lessons together, right?
Mhm.
Anything where you show to the other partner, we're here and we're experiencing this with the challenges that comes from learning and
Yeah.
growing together,
Yeah.
right? And then the last one is curiosity.
Ah,
Are you curious about this human next to you?
I like that.
Do you give a fuck?
I
I'm
think
sorry, I shouldn't do it that way.
no,
My
but
definition is though, right? If you're not curious about me, you really don't give a fuck.
yeah, but I think that definitely rolls over into what you said earlier about women changing, like
Mm-hmm.
as we get older, and then like those interest changings and things like that. So you would have to be curious because if things change across the
Right.
board, then you need to be able to know like, oh, what's going on here?
And
But
you're
you used to be here and
supposed to
there.
change, right? You're
Right.
supposed to grow, you're supposed to change because, again, here we are with developmental psychology.
Mhm.
But every 5 years, you have a change and you level up.
Ah, that was 7, but that's good.
Well, because think about it. How old are you?
How old am I? 33.
Okay, let's say 5 years ago,
Mhm.
right? Did you perceive
Definitely not.
on anything, right?
Whatever it is, the answer is
Love,
no.
sex, relationships, commitment,
Yeah.
right? So our perception changes every 5 years,
Yeah.
right? And then you've got the Erickson stages of development for children, and then there's the, oh, I can't pronounce his name. It's something with an S,
Mhm.
but where he did adult development, right?
Okay.
So the stages that we go, the last developmental stage that we encounter is 65. So if you're younger than
Wow.
65, how have you changed? How have you grown? And has your person grown with you? Because if they didn't, right, all of that, the emotional safety, these are the building blocks of emotional safety and
Yeah.
connection and intimacy,
Yeah.
right? So I do think, like I said, men want it just as much, right?
Mhm.
They don't know how to identify it. They
Mhm.
don't know how to label it because it hasn't been taught or expected of them
Yeah.
as it is now. I
Mhm.
think the younger generation will be both better equipped, men and women,
Yes.
to be able
Yes.
to show up that way. The older generations, we just didn't have that teaching
Yeah.
for them, for the men,
Yeah.
right? It was you are the provider, but now the definition of provider has changed very much.
It has.
So, again, if you're doing all of this, that connection and desire will be there.
Mhm.
But if you're not, you can see how when you that's when you start taking the other person for granted. And
Mhm.
if you don't feel loved, valued, heard, understood, or respected
Yeah.
on either end,
Yeah.
because I have guy friends and I have male clients who say the same thing. When those things are lacking in their relationships,
Yeah.
they don't have that desire to show
No.
up,
Yeah.
right? So it goes both ways.
Mhm.
Um,
I think that's important to include though.
the final thing I want to say, I do think it's important to recognize, again, all relationships are different.
Mhm.
The purpose of every relationship is also very different.
Yes.
So you do have relationships where they're besties, right?
Mhm.
The husband and wife are besties. They
Yeah.
have this beautiful life together
Mhm.
and it's comfortable, it's emotionally intimate, it's emotionally
Mhm.
safe. They're great partners together,
Yeah.
but the sex drive is not there.
Nope.
And that's okay too.
Right. For them. Like you have to know what works for you.
Because again, who knows what, one of the podcasts that I did before, um, he said that, my guest, he said that a lot of men want companionship.
Mhm.
That's what they're looking
I
for.
have heard that, yeah.
Women might want more love and romance and that kind of stuff, but
Mhm.
men are typically okay with companionship.
Mhm.
So you can see where in a companionate love situation, like the one that I just described, that is fulfilling for them.
Yeah.
And that's okay. If they have young children, for example, or if they have children and even if they're teenagers, they're like, yeah, but this is the safety that we get
Mhm.
to provide, and I'm not miserable and I don't hate you.
Yeah.
So if sex is not there, that doesn't diminish
Right.
the value of that relationship.
Mhm.
Now, there's other people like myself where that's not ever going to be enough.
Yeah.
I don't want just a companion love. I grew up watching that companion love where they
Mhm.
are still together because that's what you do. That's the
Yeah.
companion, and it's been years and da da da. I don't want that. I want
Yeah.
more. I want all of it.
Yeah.
I want to be inspired by my husband. I want
Mhm.
to be in love with my husband. I want to be desired by my husband and then find him very desirable, right? Like I want
Mhm.
all of the beauty that I find in life because that's what I strive to give.
Mhm.
So I want back again reciprocal
Mhm.
relationships,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We just always go back to that. I want what I give, and I give all of the above. So
Yeah.
that's what I want back.
Yeah.
And I think we have to be very careful with saying, oh, you're not doing this, you're not having sex, then that must mean your marriage is broken.
Yes, there's something wrong. There's leading to separation. Yeah.
If it's as simple as, is this a shared experience,
Yeah.
right? And if it's not, reevaluate the emotional safety. Try to find
Mhm.
those things again,
Yeah.
right? Um, I hate to be this way, but this is why I love psychology and I love research and I love all of this shit because it makes me feel safe that there is a formula.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right? There is a formula. There's
Mhm.
well, maybe we'll do this in another episode, but there's a study that was done where they said you can fall in love with just about anybody,
Mhm.
right? If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then they did it, and then it did.
Oh my
I
god.
know,
That is creepy as hell.
but it's true. But it's true because the
I
building
could see
blocks are
that.
right
But it's
there.
also because again the lesson is you have this person, you meet this person, you do this thing, you do, and so like that is super. This part two on the way. That would
It's
be
coming,
very good.
right? Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. So
It'd be
I
fun.
actually have the questions and the format that they did on the study. It was really cool.
Very
Um,
cool.
but, anyways, to wrap it all up, there's so many reasons why
Yeah.
we do what we do. We are who we are. We show up the way
Mhm.
we do
Mhm.
when it comes to sex and sexuality.
Yeah. A sexless marriage or relationship doesn't mean it's doomsday. Are we communicating? Are we having open conversations? Are
Are we
we
growing?
feeling? Are we growing? Are we having some of those pillars? Are we staying curious? Are we staying playful? Are we staying mindful? Are we asking our partner where they are, what they need, what's different? And you have to be able to receive that message. This way, you have to be receptive. If we're both wanting to make a change, if we both want something to be different or better or enhanced or whatever, especially when it comes to sex, because sex is already very vulnerable, we have to be receptive in as much as the person is telling, and of course the person telling being respectful in how they're saying the things as well, because it's still a person that you have a mutual love and respect with, and so you want to have those discussions and be fair
Right.
in that. But also again, if things change, it doesn't mean that it's the worst. It's just they've changed, so can we change with it? Can we evolve with
Grow
them?
together. Yeah.
Can we grow together?
Right.
Yeah, that's good. I'm excited. I'm really interested in that study now, so I really want to find it.
Okay.
That would be very, very fun to
Of
read.
course I have it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it'll be fun.
All right.
So stay curious, guys.
Stay curious. Thank you.
Bye.
Of course it's gonna die.
That was very ironic. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to interrupt her, but this is crazy.